When will Ravenfield be finally released on Steam? Hello and welcome. By now we all know that Ravenfield has been greenlit very successfully on Steam. The Steam Greenlight campaign of Ravenfield started February the 1st, and just 5 days later, on the 6th of February 2017, Ravenfield has been greenlit. This was a huge success. During that greenlight, Ravenfield was one of the top games in that process. Ravenfield took less than a week to be greenlit on Steam, and this is pretty impressive. Just to compare, Ancient Warfare 2 started on January 7th and got greenlit on January 24th, 2017. This means Ancient Warfare took more than 2 weeks to be greenlit. And guess what? They are still not released on Steam. This means that Ancient Warfare 2 has not been released 1.5 months after the greenlight has been successful. Also, by comparison, Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, or TABS, took 10 days to be greenlit. And do you know for how long they have not released the version after being greenlit? 7 months. Of course, let us hope that we will not have to wait multiple months for Ravenfield to be released. The most prominent official statement so far has been that it will take a couple of weeks. So let's hope that it will take 2 months maybe, and that we are pretty much already done with the first one. Steel Raven 7 also clarified that the release date will be announced a bit before the game is released, so the release won't come completely out of the blue. This means, for example, if Steel Raven decides to release the game on April the 1st, that he will announce that date beforehand, perhaps 1 week up front, perhaps on March the 25th then. So what does johan-hassle, or Steel Raven 7, the only developer of Ravenfield, need all this time for? He needs to add more features to the game. He needs to finish the maps, he needs to finish the vehicles, the AI behavior, he is improving movement of bots, he already used a lot of time to improve the models, he is improving animations to match these new models, of course, he needs to make sure the weapons are interesting to use, he needs to make sure that the features he adds to the game are not just stupid gimmicks that are interesting for a second and then everybody forgets about them. For example, can you even remember the target-seeking rocket launcher? Or ever using the binoculars in a way that makes sense? And this of course all takes time, because remember, Steel Raven 7 is working on this alone. Why doesn't he hire somebody? Well, he said that hiring somebody and starting working with them might actually take more time than he needs to finish the work by himself. We'll have to trust him on that one, right? So what exactly is the timeline of Ravenfield here? Ravenfield was started in the summer of 2015. The first public beta has been released in July 2016. It was greenlit in February 2017. And now we're waiting for the Steam release. But before that will happen, Steel Raven 7 will give us a little warning, perhaps 1 week or so. In the meantime, follow Steel Raven 7, but also iwanPlays, that's me, on Twitter. And of course subscribe to iwanPlays on YouTube, that's me again, to be the first to get news about Ravenfield. If you're thinking, hey, Ravenfield has been greenlit, why not just release the current version on Steam, and then people can pay for it, and when Beta 6 is ready, then they will get it. Why not do that? Well, you see, up until now, Ravenfield has been in the eyes of hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions, of freeware game players. But Steam, this is a completely different ballpark. Steam means millions of paying players. And if they don't like what they see, they might never give it a second chance, they might never take a second look. First impressions matter like crazy, and that's why Steel Raven 7 just can't and really shouldn't release the game quite yet on Steam. Because all of us want Ravenfield to be super successful. If Ravenfield is successful, Steel Raven 7 gets money. If Steel Raven 7 gets money for Ravenfield, he will keep working on Ravenfield. If he doesn't get money for Ravenfield, guess what? He'll have to think of something else. So really, this little pain of not being able to play Half-Life 3, Ravenfield, just means that we will be able to enjoy it better in the future. Because be honest, you don't just want Beta 6. You want Beta 6, and then you want Beta 7, and then Beta 8, and then Beta 9, or whatever these version names will now become. But you don't want the Ravenfield history to end with the first release on Steam, and then nothing. Of course we want more updates, but if Ravenfield is not successful, there will be no updates. So Ravenfield Steam version number 1 really has to bring new stuff to the table. Otherwise, players won't care, otherwise reviewers won't care. It's really that simple. And I really think that johan-hassle, aka steelraven7, is somebody we can trust with this. Why, you ask? Because, for example, he is constantly sharing bits and pieces of his progress, letting us take a look at new screenshots, because we have been able to see in the course of 5 betas how he can improve a game, and because regarding his work philosophy, he seems to be just a really decent person. He didn't do a Kickstarter, he didn't do an Indiegogo, he didn't go for Patreon. What he wants is to give us a product and ask for money in return, and this product has to be good enough. We know that Ravenfield will be released as early access, but still, he didn't just put beta 5 on Steam, he wants to give us a better product. And really, it doesn't even matter whether the reasons for his strategy are decent work ethics or whether he is aware of the marketing implications, because whatever will make Ravenfield successful, more successful than just dumping it on Steam now, is good. So he is doing the right decision right now by letting us wait just a little longer, no matter which of the 2 reasons that I have outlined. But hey, we can still speculate, right? So I would really love to hear from you in the comments of this video what you think the release date will be. You can actually try to do some research, you can read articles about release dates for video games, and for that of course there is not as much data as for films, so you can look at films and their release dates and the seasons in a year when consumers seem to be most willing to consume film, but these are toys. The real and current and up-to-date data is kept by companies that sell millions of games, multiple titles a year, and even they screw over the players and screw up their games often enough. So I think that steelraven7 might somehow intertwine the release of Ravenfield either with game conferences or with some kind of holiday, like for example Easter. So perhaps early April would be perfect, and I think maybe April 1st would be too much of a joke and too much insecurity, so maybe just April 9th? I don't know, I'm just kicking around ideas. I would really like to hear from you, so make sure to pause the video before you comment, or else you will auto-continue to the next one. You can also use the info card in this video to vote. It should work on mobile and on desktop. I've been very slow on making Ravenfield videos lately, so also please let me know in the comments what kind of stuff you would like to see, and I'll get back on more videos. By the way, in case you didn't know, we started a chat room for the gaming community. It's focused on this YouTube channel, and we've been playing actually multiplayer games together, talking to each other while recording. So if you're interested in playing some games together, make sure to join this Discord chat. It's called iwanPlays. You can just use it in the browser, or you can use the mobile app, or download an application. The link of course is in the description of this video. Alright, so if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe. If you don't have a YouTube account, get one. You really just have to log in with a Google account here, so it's really quite easy. And apart from that, I hope to see you in my next Ravenfield video, or my next non-Ravenfield video, depending on your interest. Speaking of videos, what you have been watching was a 10 versus 10 match with expert bots, and also some special shaders enabled to make the game look a little different and feel a little different to play. I've been sniping a lot using the SL Defender at first, but then, as you can see, I switched to the LRR, because speed is, in the end, so important when using slow-mo. And yeah, I've been using slow-mo nearly for all the battles, because otherwise it's quite hard, and I really do want to take all the bases. That is my goal here. So here we are at the red final base, the red initial base, and just spawn camping, trying not to die, trying to catch a moment where my teammates actually manage to get into the base at the same time, so we can quickly capture the flag and be done with it. But they are resisting very well, and I mean the respawn timer, I set it to just a too short amount. And this guy was trying to attack with the med pack, that was nice. And yeah, lucky me getting headshots in. Always fearing that the reds are spawning and taking me out with one bullet. So yeah, time to get some ammo, because I'm running low, and I'm gonna annoy them with my rocket launcher for a while as well. back to work. It's good to see some allies in the base, but they usually don't last for long. Just making sure there's nobody nowhere who could take me out. Yeah, the blue one is on the ground. It was not meant to be. And it's really getting hard to see the reds due to all the blood textures on the ground. A beautiful painting, but a hard to hit target background. Well, here we go. Time for some rocketeering. But actually my team made it into the base and took the flag. Awesome! I'm checking the map and there's no other red spots. They for sure did not leave the base, so that is the end. Excellent! Ciao!